The drama surrounding DiJonai Carrington has been simmering all season, a steady undercurrent of hard fouls, sideline stares, and a reputation that, depending on who you ask, is either the mark of a fierce competitor or the sign of a player who crosses the line. But on this particular night, with the Connecticut Sun fighting for every inch on the court and the Chicago Sky desperate to make a statement, that drama boiled over in a moment that would leave fans arguing long after the final buzzer. It all started like so many intense WNBA matchups do, with both teams knowing that every possession mattered. The Sky, fueled by a mix of veterans and rising stars, wanted to prove they could hang with the league's top contenders. The Sun, led by their trademark physical style, had no intention of giving them that satisfaction. But this wasn't just any physical game, it had an edge, an unspoken tension. And right in the middle of it was DJane Carrington, whose aggressive defense and fearless drives often blur the line between controlled intensity and outright chaos. Midway through the game, the collision happened. Tiffany Hayes, a respected veteran with a long history of fighting through contact, drove into the paint. Carrington slid in, her body angled, and for a split second, the two were locked in a tangle of momentum and force. Hayes went down hard, the kind of fall that makes the arena collectively hold its breath. On the replay, you could see the contact. The hip, the shoulder, the awkward way Hayes landed. The crowd erupted, but not in unison. Half roared for a foul, half roared for play on. The officials made their call, a common foul. Nothing more. And that's when the temperature in the building and online spiked. Hayes stayed on the floor for a moment, grimacing while her teammates helped her up. Meanwhile, Carrington walked away, expression unreadable. To some, that was just the look of a competitor staying locked in. To others, it was cold, even dismissive. By the time Hayes was on her feet, the debate was already raging on social media. Was this just hard-nosed basketball? Or had Carrington once again crossed the invisible line that separates physical play from dangerous play? For Carrington, this moment didn't exist in isolation. Fans remembered the other incidents. The bumps, the elbows, the subtle little nudges that never quite show up in the stat sheet but live forever in the minds of opposing players and their supporters. Some critics have gone as far as to call her dirty, a label she and her defenders strongly reject. They argue that she plays the game the way it's meant to be played: tough, fearless, unafraid of contact. And in a league where physicality is often downplayed, Carrington's style is a reminder of just how intense the WNBA can be. But this wasn't just about Carrington and Hayes. Looming in the background was the ongoing conversation around Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who has brought unprecedented attention and scrutiny to the league. Clark has been on the receiving end of her own share of hard fouls this season, and each one sparks fresh debate about player safety, officiating standards, and whether stars are being protected. In a strange way, the Carrington-Hayes collision felt like it belonged to the same larger conversation. Where do you draw the line? As the game wore on, the tension never fully settled. Every Carrington touch drew extra boos from Sky fans and louder cheers from Sun supporters. Every whistle or lack thereof was met with a wave of reaction from the crowd. And yet Carrington kept playing her game, driving, defending, talking, always in the mix. After the final buzzer, the reactions split along familiar fault lines. Stunned fans praised Carrington's fearlessness and her refusal to back down. Sky fans and neutral observers called the play reckless, even dangerous. Clips of the collision circulated online, slowed down, zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame like the Zapruder film of basketball. The WNBA's officiating crews have been under scrutiny all season, and this incident only added to the heat. Some argued that calling a common foul was correct after all. Basketball is a contact sport, and not every fall is a flagrant offense. Others felt the refs missed a chance to send a message about safety, especially in a league that prides itself on skill and sportsmanship. Carrington, for her part, has never been one to shy away from criticism. She plays with a chip on her shoulder, and in moments like these, that chip only grows heavier. Whether you love her game or can't stand it, there's no denying that she makes you feel something. And in sports, it's power. But for Hayes, this was more than a debate topic. She had to shake off the hit, both physically and mentally, and keep playing. The Sky's season has been a grind. In moments like this, when a team feels like it's been wronged, it can either fracture morale or forge a stronger bond. Hayes' response was pure veteran poise. She got up. She kept competing. No theatrics, just basketball. The fans, though, weren't ready to move on. The comment sections lit up. Dirty. Tough. Overrated. Underrated. Every possible take found a home somewhere online. And the comparisons to Caitlin Clark's treatment this season only amplified the noise. Some saw hypocrisy in how certain players' fouls are judged depending on who's on the receiving end. Others pointed out that physical play has always been part of the WNBA, that it's only the increased spotlight that makes these moments feel bigger now. In truth, both things can be true. Carrington can be a fiercely competitive player who toes the line, and the league can still work on balancing physicality with safety. Incidents like the one with Hayes don't just vanish. They become part of the season's story, shaping rivalries, fueling fan debates, and influencing how officials approach future games. As the dust settled on this particular game, there was no grand resolution, no apology tour, no suspension. Just another night in the WNBA where the line between hard play and foul play was tested, and everyone walked away with their own opinion about where that line should be. For Carrington, the road ahead is the same as it's always been: play her game, take the hits literal and verbal, and keep competing. For Hayes, it's about resilience and moving forward. And for the fans, it's another moment to remember, argue about, and add to the ever-growing collection of plays that define this WNBA season. The league thrives on moments like this, for better or worse. They are the heartbeat of competition, the sparks that ignite rivalries, the talking points that keep the conversation alive long after the scoreboard goes dark. And whether you see DiJonai Carrington as a hero, a villain, or something in between, one thing is certain: she knows how to make the game unforgettable.